Good morning, everyone. As you all know, we are doing the play A Doll's House, and in the last video, we had completed with Mrs. Linde's dialogue. Well, I had to turn my hand to anything I could find. First a small shop, then a small school, and so on. The last 3 years have seemed like one long working day with no rest. Now it's an end, Nora. My poor mother needs me no more, for she is gone, and the boys don't need me either. They have got situations and can shift for themselves. Nora, what a relief you must feel if Mrs. Linde. No, indeed, I only feel my life unspeakably empty, no one to live for anymore. Gets up restlessly. That was why I couldn't stand the life in my little backwater any longer. I hope it may be easier here to find something which will busy me and occupy my thoughts, if only I could have the good luck to get some regular work, office work of some kind. Nora. But Christine, that is so frightfully tiring and you look so tired out now. You had far better go away to some watering place. Mrs. Linde, walking to the window. I have no father to give me money for a journey, Nora. She taunts on Nora because Mrs. Linde thinks that Nora had gone to Italy to save her husband's life with the help of her father's money. Nora, oh, don't be angry with me, Mrs. Linde, going up to her. It is you that must not be angry with me, dear. The worst of a position like mine is that it makes one so bitter. No one to work for and yet obliged to be always on the lookout for chances. One must live, and so one becomes selfish. When you told me of the happy turn your fortunes have taken, you will hardly believe it. I was delighted, not so much on your account as on my own. Here, Mrs. Linde is hinting upon the prospect of getting a job under Torvald Helmer, who is Nora's husband, and Nora is her childhood friend, and Mrs. Linde expects Mrs. Nora to put in a good word for Mrs. Linde to Torvald Helmer so that she would get a job in a bank, but because her husband is going to be the bank manager now. Torvald Helmer is going to be the bank manager and he can afford to give a job to Mrs. Linde. How do you mean? Oh, I understand. You mean that perhaps Torvald could get you something to do that is a job? Mrs. Linde, yes, that was what I was thinking of. Nora, he must, Christine, just leave it to me. I will broach the subject, that is, bring up the subject very cleverly. I will think of something that will please him very much. It will make me so happy to be of some use to you. That is, Nora, this shows Nora's character. She is always helpful and she wants to help others, and she is a very kind-hearted and good-hearted person, but you will see how Helmer treats her and calls her a criminal later on, and this is what is going to disillusion Nora, and she is going to leave the house at the end of the play, for which it caused a great uproar during the time of its publication. Mrs. Linde, how kind you are, Nora, to be so anxious to help me. It is doubly kind in you, for you know so little of the burdens and troubles of life. Nora, I know so little of them. That is, actually Mrs. Linde is unaware. She doesn't know how much Nora has undergone to save her husband's life and how she has managed to run her home. Mrs. Linde, my dear, small household cares and that sort of thing. You are a child, Nora. How can you say that those things have given you tension in your life? Nora tosses her head and crosses the stage. You ought not to be so superior, Mrs. Linde. No, Nora, you are just like others. They all think that I am incapable of anything really serious. Always it is thought of women that they are incapable of any serious things. They are incapable of thinking of any solutions to any serious problems. Mrs. Linde, come, Nora, that I have gone through nothing in this world of cares. Mrs. Linde, but my dear Nora, you have just told me all your troubles. Phew, those were trifles, little things. Trifles means little things. Lowering her voice, I have not told you the important thing. The important thing? What do you mean? Nora, you look down upon me altogether, Christine, but you ought not to. You are proud, aren't you, of having worked so hard and so long for your mother? Mrs. Linde, indeed, I don't look down on anyone, but it is true that I am both proud and glad to think that I was privileged to make the end of my mother's life almost free from care. Nora, and you are proud to think of what you have done for your brothers? I think I have the right to be. Nora, I think so too. But now listen to this. I too have something to be proud and glad of. Mrs. Linde, I have no doubt you have. But what do you refer to? Nora, speak low. Suppose Torvald were to hear? He mustn't on any account. No one in the world must know Christine except you. Mrs. Linde, but what is it? Nora, come here. Pulls her down on the sofa beside her. Now I will show you that I too have something to be proud and glad of. It was I who saved Torvald's life. Mrs. Linde, saved? How? Nora, I told you about our trip to Italy. Torvald would never have recovered if I had not gone there. Mrs. Linde, yes, but your father gave you the necessary funds? Nora, yes, that is what Torvald and all others think, but... Mrs. Linde, but? Nora, Papa didn't give us a shilling. It was I who procured the money. Mrs. Linde, you? All that large sum? 250 pounds. What do you think of that? So, Nora actually she raises a loan from Krogstad and she saves her husband's life, and for that she forges her father's signature so that her father is saved from worry on his deathbed and he dies peacefully, thinking that Nora is happy in her married life and she doesn't want to trouble him on his deathbed, and she forges a signature of her father and raises a loan from Krogstad and takes her husband on a journey to Italy to save his life, and she keeps it as a secret, and she thinks that when Torvald Helmer would finally know about this, he would really love her all the more. But it turns out that he calls her a criminal, and Nora is disillusioned and she leaves the house. But we will move on with the story and with the plot in the next video. Till then, thank you.